shit, you could buy all of these for the price of, well, less than you're going to pay for something that's been hyped up to the moon, right? So I don't want to talk about how much whiskey I just got on my blazer.
Hey, thanks for joining us for your dose of Weekly Whiskey with John and Jay.
Weekly Whiskey is made on Mackie, and if you'd like to find out more about the top-notch studio gear we're using, you can find out on Mackie.com.
Mackie is awesome. We love the gear, and let's go ahead and pivot into tonight's whiskey topic. What are we talking about, John?
Tonight, I want to share, well, I mean, we'll both share it, I guess. I won't do it all. But let's talk about whiskeys for beginners, right? Like, let's do a quick top 5 list of the bottles that you should probably have when you're either ready to dive into the whiskey pool or you've been into it a little bit, but you want to expand a bit.
Right. Whether you've been, whether you've been into bourbon for 2 months, or you've been drinking Jim Beam for 20 years and you just want to branch out, I think we have 5 great ones. For starters, I think Elijah Craig Small Batch. It's 94 proof. It's going to be between $20 and $30. You can find it anywhere in the country. Store picks even exist too. Like you kind of get the perfect intro with Elijah Craig.
Yeah, totally. You get a little bit of everything. I mean, a lot of those store picks too, they range right up into the 10, 11 year range. You're going to get an older whiskey, something with a good profile, proof to 94. So it'll be a step up from that 80 proof that a lot of newer bourbon sippers are getting into. So you get a little bit different profile, a little bit more age, maybe. The availability of a single barrel and a little bit higher proof. I dig it. That's a good recommendation. I'm going to shuffle a little bit in a different profile here and go into Buffalo Trace. So this is 25-ish bucks. SRP is about 25. And this is something that we're going to catch a little heat for saying this, and I know it. And that's fine. Tell us in the comments what you do or don't think about this, right? But Buffalo Trace is quite available. It's got massive distribution. And yeah, there are definitely states where you can't get it. Or it's going to be marked up, and that's stupid. Like, don't overpay for it. If it's more than 25 or 30 bucks, don't do it. But if you could find it, get a buddy to send you a bottle or whatever it is, this is a really good way to get into, it'll scratch the itch for the FOMO, right? Because everybody's chasing down Buffalo Trace products. But it's also just tasty stuff. It's mash bill number 1. It'll get you acquainted with their stuff. And you can also, again, find store picks of this. So it might be something that is normally a batch product, but you can get a store pick, single barrel like Jay's got right here. It's tasty whiskey for a great price. I think it's worth trying out.
Right, yeah. Buffalo Trace catches a lot of flack. A lot of people think that it's impossible to find. You can find these bottles. You need to take a little look. Don't tell me it doesn't exist in your state. And for 25 bucks, if you see one, pick it up. Just like Evan Williams single barrel. This one is kind of near and dear to me. These started 5 or so years ago. They were like 19 bucks. Now they're maybe 30 at the max. Really nice age to them. About 8 to 10 years. They used to average around 10. They've getting a little younger, but you're starting to dabble into those more premium pools. You're experiencing a lot more barrel variation. All of these single barrels are picked to be a little bit different. And honestly, you're not going to break the bank doing it either.
Yeah, you get a little bit of collectability with these too. If you look on the back and you catch that dumped date, you can kind of be like, oh, cool. Like, I actually went through a stretch where there was a bunch that had been dumped on my birthday, so I bought like 3 of them.
Right.
Thinking I'd save them, and I just drank them all because they're tasty. But like, it's a good, easy sipping whiskey. You get a little bit of a premium feel with them because of the wax top, and it's a single barrel experience. Like, it's just a good product overall, and I dig that. That's a good one. I don't think we had intentionally planned it this way, but these are almost all like 30 bucks or less. So I think that also has some appeal. But the next one we're going to talk about here is another higher age statement. This is a Russell's Reserve 10 year. So this is a batch product here, 10 years, 90 proof. It's about 30 bucks. Some states you're going to catch it even cheaper. And if you're in one of those states, good, keep buying it. This is a tasty product that I think it started out a little bit rough. Like, the oldest labels of this I wasn't crazy about. And I kind of shied away from it for a while and came back to it much more recently and was impressed by it. And this is something that you'll see our friend David Jennings, Redbird 101, rave about. Like, this is an available 10-year age-stated product that's 30 bucks. It's tasty whiskey. I think it's worth a try. If you haven't tried this, for fuck's sake, try it.
Yeah, and honestly, if you cannot find one local to you, don't sweat it. Wild Turkey's dealing with a little bit of a glass problem at the time of recording this. It is not super rare. People are not hunting it. People are not buying out the shelves. They're just having a little bit of an issue stocking it. So be patient. Try and hunt one down. honestly, I think it's pretty good. I like Eagle Rare 10 a little bit more, but you can't go wrong with a 10-year-old Wild Turkey product for $30. It's crazy. And honestly, it's a perfect parlay into kind of our fifth bottle here. New Riff, their bottled in mod bourbon is fantastic. It's kind of fun to get a craft producer into this list. I think New Riff could go toe-to-toe with these guys a lot of the time. I mean, you're stepping into the world of these craft producers. Like New Riff, we say all the time, is craft done right. You know, they're super consistent. These are great. They're going to be about $40, so maybe a few bucks more. Super cool bottle. Great one to pour for guests.
Absolutely. The profile of this is spot on. Classic bourbon. Everything that you want. Like, so if you're that sipper like we talked about in the beginning, if you're that cat who has been drinking Makers or Jim Beam or the same product, whatever it may be, for a number of years, and you're just ready to try to branch out a little bit, I think this is a really good way to go, because you're not going to get into something that's wildly unfamiliar, right? This is a tasty core bourbon, like quintessential flavor profile, and I dig it too. Like, it's just everything New Riff does. I don't want to say everything. Almost everything New Riff does is great.
They're pretty good. I mean,
we like them.
Yeah, they're really great. And summing this up to, you know, if you are brand new to bourbon, it's really easy to get caught up in try and hunt for those antique collections, those Weller single barrels, everything that is hyped out the list. This is 5 bottles that are all really well aged, really well priced. You can actually find them. And I'd be shocked if you didn't love one of these 5 trying them out.
Shit, you could buy all of these for the price of, well, less than you're going to pay for something that's been hyped up to the moon, right? So thanks for catching your dose of Weekly Whiskey with John and Jay.
Yeah, if you guys enjoyed the content, if you like what we're doing, if you want to dive in deeper and learn more, you can join our community at patreon.com/thewhiskeynet.
Adding on to that, we also just opened up our YouTube membership page. If you want to jump into that, subscribe and join us there. You get some membership perks as well. And don't forget to check out our studio sponsor, Mackie. You can find them on Instagram at Mackie Gear or on Mackie.com.
Right. Mackie is awesome. They are the reason we sound as good as we do. If you are looking for more info about John, he is over at thebourbonfinder.com. And if you're looking for more from me, I'm Jay from whiskeyraiders.com. We are your Rotten Tomatoes whiskey. We have reviews of all these bottles up. Go ahead and check them out. And thank you again for joining us. And cheers, guys. Let us know which one you like.
Cheers.